All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Coffee Q&A, your daily dose of coffee Q&A here on the OnoCoffee channel. I'm Jay, your host, and how's it going? It is the week of the end of the year, so hope you're doing well. It's December 29th, and since we had our Christmas last week, my sister-in-law made stuffing again, which actually, to be honest with you, is a little bit strange to have stuffing in Christmas time. It's like, I always think of it as a Thanksgiving thing, but it gives us the opportunity to try stuffing waffles again, like we did a month ago. So now we're going to do stuffing waffles. And today we're going to do it differently because normally when I take the stuffing like this, right, I'll take it and I will just shove this into the waffle iron. But today I'm going to try something different because I saw some recipes out there. They were using other ingredients as binders. I was thinking, well, maybe we'll use some of those binders and give it a try because now we've got some extra stuffing to play around with. So that's what we're going to do. So hope you're doing well. How was your weekend? Russell's with us. Good morning, Russell, to you. How are you doing? Ken, Claire, how are you? How's everything going? So we're going to make this stuffing waffles and then make some coffee to go along with it. Now, some of the things you might want to do with these stuffings, like this is stuffing. When my sister-in-law uses, I guess I never asked her, but breadcrumbs, seasoning, or maybe they're seasoned breadcrumbs. And what else do we have in here? We've got chestnuts. I'm sure she used, oh goodness, I'm sure she used, what do you call it? Chicken stock. So chestnuts, seasoning, chicken stock, and I don't know what else. I have no idea. But it's good. So some of the things I saw out there were people were using shredded cheddar, eggs, and I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting. And I was thinking more like a batter kind of thing. Maybe we'll use some eggs, some dairy, some milk. And if you're going to use dairy, you can use that just kind of as a moisturizer. I even saw people talk about like we'll even add chicken stock. Again, like in the past, I've never done any of that. I just take the hot waffle iron, right? You can kind of see it here. I can't get any closer because this cable's really short. And just cook it. Just cook the heck out of it. Because I like it crisp. But what we're going to do today is we're going to make a little bit of a binder and then mix in with that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take an egg. Here's an egg. Dairy fresh commercial egg. Large size egg. Put that in. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to whisk it. You can whisk it. You don't have to whisk it. Do whatever you want, really. Now, as I was thinking about this morning, I was like, what am I going to put in here? I'm going to put in egg. That's a nice binder. And my real thought was like maybe some cheese. So I got some cheese here. I got some of this mild cheddar, pre-shredded, because we're animals here in America. We like to buy pre-shredded stuff. So I've got this. And I was also thinking that we're going to use milk, right? Milk as the moisture. But then I was thinking, what about regatta, right? If I use regatta cheese, so I have some regatta here, right? Regatta will give us a nice flavor, but also give us the extra moisture, right? Because if we look at the regatta, this is Italian-style ricotta cheese, right? And let's just get a little, you can see there's a little bit of the whey separating out of the cheese, but the ricotta is this really nice, like white, almost like a queso fresco kind of cheese, but softer than queso fresco. With a little bit of a bitterness to it. So maybe we'll add a little bit of that, right? Just a little bit. Just like maybe that much. Now, how much are we really adding of these ingredients? I don't know. I'm just kind of adding. A lot of times when you're working with food and recipes, even with coffee too, you're just gonna play with it a little bit. Give it a little bit of different kinds of ingredients. We'll try to mix that in as much as we can with the whisk. This whisk I actually picked up from the Daiso dollar store quite a while ago. I found it the other day in a bag, and it's kind of, you know, got this multi-layer whisk. It's kind of fun. I don't know how practical that is, but you know, it just seemed kind of interesting. So we're trying it out to see. So I've got some milk here, some regular whole milk. Now, if you want to use non-dairy milks, that's perfectly fine. Really, this is more about adding moisture to the stuffing rather than anything else. So we're just going to add a little bit of this. Yeah, that's good. And that's going to give us a little bit of slurry. Oh, crap. Good thing I put the cap on because it would have been disaster out there. All right, so we've got our mix here. Now we've got a nice little mix here, yellow looking mix. And so we're going to add some of the stuffing to it. We want to make a nice size waffle, so we're going to make sure we get some more nuts in there. That should be quite a bit, right, for stuffing. Now it's time to fold it over. And this should help hydrate what we're doing. So it'll hydrate the stuffing that's been sitting in the fridge. It has been sitting in the fridge since Thursday. All right, that looks pretty good. I just want to make sure it's nice and fully coated. That should be, maybe a little bit more would be nice. Maybe a little bit more. Just add a couple more. Now, if you want to make this in a very serious way so that you can replicate it evenly, one of the best things that we always would do in the kitchens was that when we were finally at the point where we kind of had an idea of what we were really going to do, we would actually start to scale everything, meaning that we would take our scale, not this one in particular, but a scale, and we would start to add ingredients and note the weight of the ingredients. Everything we do in the kitchens is by weight, right, and in grams, because it's a lot easier to calculate grams, I find. Okay, so there we go. We've got now a good mix. Everything has a nice coating of our slurry, and so now we can take this and put it into our, let me do this. This will give us a little bit nicer of a view for you. So here we go. We're going to take this. Here is our waffle iron, nice and hot. What I'm going to also do is I'm going to get a little bit of butter. I like butter. What I don't like about waffle iron is a little bit hard to get all the detritus out of it because they don't want you. They don't want you to spin it. And if you have a big, heavier commercial one, you can't really turn it over like I was just trying to do here. So it is kind of a pain in the butt to clean. But I like to take some butter. And you don't have to be cheap with the butter. That's good. Maybe it's too much. You can hear it sizzling, right? That's what you want. That's what you want. You want the sizzle. And here's the thing, you don't have to rush, like it's not going to burn. And if it burns, that's a good thing. So now we're going to close it up and squeeze it all the way down and then rotate it. Oh yeah, listen to that, baby. That's what we're talking about. All right, now it's kind of simple. From here, we're just going to wait. Because now we're on the way. We're on the way. And I have it set. Actually, there's a little rotating dial here. Oops. I have it set. There's a little rotating dial here. I don't really know what it means. I think it's time. Maybe. Ken says, slow chat when it's just Russell and me. Good morning to you, Andrew. Well, it's good to have you guys. Good to have you. So any plans for the new year for you guys? Anything happened over the weekend? Oh, I forgot to put this cheese. The idea was to mix in the cheese as well. See, sometimes you forget. It's all right to forget. Now we're just trying to wait for this. So once we finish this, then we can start our coffee. Like I could probably start the coffee now, but I couldn't because I think we're going to make espresso. But the problem is that I only have 2 outlets, and the espresso machine is running as well as the waffle iron, so I can't really do anything with that, but I should clean out our grinder. Maybe we should get some water going on, so maybe we'll make Americano. So one of the things is that I don't worry too much about the waffles burning because you really have to work very hard to make waffles burn to the point that it's really bad. Like we were actually at a barbecue this past weekend. Saturday night was at a barbecue. We were doing barbecued or fire roasted oysters. So basically, and I've never done this before, but you basically take the oysters and you have a fire. We put them in a big pan, like a perforated pan, and put it directly on the fire. And you just wait till it. And the guys were like, they'll open up like mussels. But I'm thinking mussels, mussels open up pretty dramatically. But evidently, oysters only open just a little bit, and then they're done. And so I was like, oh man. So that one batch I kind of like the first one that I did, didn't really understand it, so I'm trying to figure it out. And then one time, one of the other guys was setting it up, and I thought it was going to come back, and then basically we just charred these things in their shells. It was really a terrible thing. All right, so it's now cooking. Here it is. Very exciting. The cook cam. I wonder if I could just put this. See how I'm here now in this corner, right? If I could switch it, right? So let's say if I was here, can we put the cook cam? No. How about the cook cam? Let's have the cook cam. Maybe that's audio. I really should learn the functions of this. Who knows? Who knows? One of these days we'll figure this. One day, maybe one year I'll figure it out. But we've got our cook cam going here. Look at that, man. It is sizzling, guys. I want to see what's going on in there. Like I'm impatient. All right, so we're getting good. Look at that. Oh, man. So there's really a big difference by adding our binders. Look at that. Like it totally looks different than the last time. All right, we're rolling. Gosh, that's kind of exciting. Here in Baltimore, people are very excited because our arch rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers, were playing the Cleveland Browns yesterday. Yeah, Cleveland Browns, I think. and they got beat, which means that the Baltimore Ravens have a contention for the AFC North Championship. Personally, it doesn't really matter to me, but I know a lot of people here love that. Mainly because I'm not enamored with our coach. Okay, so here we go. So let's have a look here. Bruce is with us. How are you, man? Good to see you. Hope your Christmas is a good one. Ooh, look at that. I'm getting good color. I'm gonna go. Ooh, that's nice and maybe we're not gonna go. We're gonna go back a little bit more, just a little bit more. Andrew says, got a great gift which brought to mind a recent episode. Bon Maman Advent Center. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I still have the little the caramel coffee spread right here. I actually even have a, oh, is this Bon Maman? No, this is not Bon Maman. Oh, it is. I have a little bit of the strawberry preserves. This is just what I have. My emergency strawberry preserve, just sitting here in case I need it. Always at the ready. Andrew says, construction manager occasionally has some reason. I know. It's, well, I'm a guy. We're terrible with this kind of thing, right? All right, our water is starting to boil. Our waffles are good. Okay, I think that's good. So I'm going to unplug the waffle iron. I'm going to let the residual heat cook it. Now we're going to come and make our Americano all ready. So let's go here. Americano time. You're going to have to kind of go high speed. Take that off. Let the beef a little bit so it runs well. It's a little bit dirty, so let it run clean. That's good. A little bit. So our mound has fallen a little bit low here, but we're just going to sweep around. I feel like, see how it's kind of low? It feels low. I feel like it's a little bit too less, but we're going to roll with it because I'm just going to roll with it. Oh, that feels all right. Usually I can tell by my compaction here how, if I like the amount or not. Oh, my mug is missing. I'm trying to use it upstairs. All right, so let's get our Marty Curtis mug. Our Marty Curtis mug. We're just going to go for it. We're not even going to try to make it look. We're not going to test it. We just want to go for it, right? Just going to go straight away like a boss. See if we can make magic. Or make an embarrassment for myself here. Oh, it's embarrassing already. Oh, not too terrible, kind of fast. Maybe a little bit too much. We're looking for our little flutter, but I'm kind of getting nervous now. Stop that. Now, I didn't see a flutter, but I am seeing a lot of blonding, right, under there, so we're going to pull that out. Yeah, see that little bit of blonde? I think that's just a little bit too much, and I think that's the indication that it's time to stop. Ooh, my hands are getting kind of hot here. All right, so let's have a look at our coffee, but the coffee crema is looking pretty good, although it seems like it might be a little bit thin there. It could be better. It could be a lot better. Russell says, I thought the Ravens got robbed of a touchdown the last time they played Pittsburgh. Yes, we are always getting robbed by them. But actually, I got to say that I saw a play, and I guess it was from last night, where the Browns defender kind of like blocked the receiver for the Pittsburgh, right? And even I got to say that looked like it could have been, it probably should have been, pass interference. So here's our waffle, and I don't have a waffle proper tool. So I'm just going to take it up. But the nice thing is that it's very well cooked, which I kind of like. Okay, so let's put that over here. Come back. And here it is, the waffle. Now, I could add more butter. Can I add more butter? Is it warm enough to add more butter? What I don't like it when I add butter is I don't want it to be like, see, I don't want it to stay like that. That just makes me irritated. But I think we put quite a bit of butter. Oh, there we go. It's melting. What I really love is when you get the waffle super hot and you put the butter and then you put the syrup, and then it forms little pools in these cavities of that's a mix of butter and syrup. God, I love that. That is like my greatest pleasure. Coffee Cove, good morning to you. How are you doing? So now I've also got some not terribly fancy, but organic maple syrup from Kirkland. 100% US grade A. Here's something for you. When I'm up in New England and I go to like Vermont, one of my friends many, many years ago, her name is Gazina Bullock Prado. She's a wife of a very close friend of mine and actually has a relatively famous sister, but she's actually become quite famous on her own. She's a wonderful baker. And she told me this years ago. She was like, if you want to buy some, because I remember I was staying with them one day years and years ago, and they were like, if you want to get some, I said, I need to go get me some good, proper maple syrup. She's like, when you go to this place, go to the farms, ask them for the grade B. Don't get the grade A. I was like, what? Why? She's like, the grade B is a little bit darker and more robust in flavor. It's better. And I was like, really? All right. So typically I will buy grade B. Like the grade A, I can't remember exactly everything about it, but the A is made to be like very light and clear and all of this beautiful prettiness. It's very pretty of a syrup, but not necessarily the greatest flavor. So we're going to take the syrup, even though it's grade A, and we're going to put that, because it's actually difficult to find grade B outside of like a maple farm. And we're just going to add some of this there. And we're just going to pull it up. Now, that should be interesting because it's going to be like savory and sweet. And now we've got our coffee. And how is the coffee? Let's see what the coffee is like. Genius. All right, here we are. Let's cut into this now. So we've got the stuffing with some egg, and you can really see the difference. If you look at the other live stream where we did this last time, it's not as clean. It's not as pretty, not as quote unquote waffle looking, right? Okay, let's see. I think I need more syrup. Like what I'm looking for is sweetness to help balance and offset the savory. Just a little bit. Now this particular version, because of the binder, adds a definite crunch to it. It adds a definite structure that is greater. The structure is greater than it is when it's just the waffles, when it's just the stuffing shoved into the waffle maker. Now, the last time we did this, we just took the stuffing, shoved in the waffle iron, and then I made a gravy out of the menu, and then ate that together with the gravy. I think, did we use a little bit of turkey as well? But it definitely also had some of the cranberry jam, which I think really is a nice balance between the two. This one, I think I need to add more. Well, we're going to see. We're going to continue. Now, once you get past the crust that we formed by the waffle iron and the binders, it's still a very coarse blend, right? The croutons that are used to make the stuffing is still very coarse because they're big chunks, and so it is kind of coming apart as I'm eating it. And I don't know, I think I like, right now at this very moment, I'm feeling like I like the gravy version better. Meaning I would prefer it with gravy rather than syrup. Like you can see here, it's pooling. Kind of nice. Coffee Cove said, okay, thanks. A squirrel got a Christmas present. Oh, I put some cookies with oatmeal and peanut butter and peanuts in it outside so they cool down faster. Oh, no. Oh, man, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, at least you were very kind to the squirrels. That's doing God's work. That's doing God's work. Let's see about this. So you can see here, it's got nice texture overall. Like I like the crustiness, right? I do love crusty kind of foods, like when there's like crunchiness on the outside and softness on the inside. It's kind of why I love French fries, right? And then the coffee, just a straight up Americano. Doesn't have to be special. Doesn't have to be like fancy. Also, I'm thinking that maybe the addition of the ricotta adds a little bit more savoriness, that little bit of bitterness from that ricotta. So I wanted to add that because maybe there's a creaminess. There's also a moisture thing. But I don't know if it adds to it as a flavor experience. And I think I need more. I definitely want more sweetness to balance the savory. Like it's very savory. It's very, very savory. And meaning that it just kind of, there's nothing to offset it, right? So now we're going to try it with tons and tons of syrup on it. I mean, I'm not as enthusiastic as I am about this version than I am with my normal way of doing it. I'm normally very enthusiastic about it, but I'm not so enthusiastic about this version. I don't think the addition of the milk and the ricotta and the egg, I don't think it's enhanced anything. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's enhanced the crust and the crispiness of the structure. But flavor-wise, it's missing. Meaning that as an eating experience, it needs more. It's just very like, now it's sweet and savory, but there's no real like cohesion to it. Like here it is. I'm halfway through this, right? And honestly, I could stop. I could stop and be like, okay, that was good. The truth is that, as you're working on recipes and stuff like that, the path to like hopefully great foods is littered by, it's okay along the way. Andrew says, growing up before electric rice cookers as kids, we fought over who got the toaster. Oh, That is a very good thing. But I have mastered even stovetop. Well, I say mastered, but if I was to do it today, I undoubtedly would muck it up. But at the old roastery, I had a induction burner and a pot. And I would make a cup at a time just for myself. And I had it to perfection. Like I had it perfect. Like it would be fluffy and hydrated and like no. In the Philippines, we call this the dong, right? But we would have none of that. Just so I would have full capacity of rice. But what Andrew's talking about is when you're cooking rice on the stovetop, the heat of the source typically will burn some of the rice at the bottom of the pot. So you've got this like burnt rice at the bottom, and you kind of have to scrape it off so it's crisp. Oh man, it is so good. Like when we have it, like with my mom, my mom loves that. So if we're all out and there's some to tongue, we usually give it. We let her have it. One day, it will be my chance to be the preferred tatom eater. Hopefully no time soon. Andrew says the iPad seems to be active. Oh no. How do you guys use how many of you guys are using iPads? Like, I asked this because when the iPad first came out in like 2012, I bought one. Like I was one of the first people to buy one. I bought the iPad Mini, the small one, or the iPad Air, whatever they call it. And I used it a lot. But after a while, I came to realize that I used it really to watch videos while flying on a plane and to surf the internet. And I was like, I got a laptop that I spent good money for. I got a desktop that I have good money for. And now I have this, which I'm not using for anything practical. I'm just using it for like frivolity. So I never bought another one. Like I've never bought another one past that first one. And I just don't know what I would do with it. Like I'm curious to know how you guys are utilizing your iPads and why you think it's an essential piece of technology. Like my nephew, I think my nephew or my niece or one of them will use the iPad for like video editing. And I'm like, I think I'm just too old to understand how to edit video correctly on an iDevice. It also could be that I went too long with the cooking. Russell says, wait. I'm just trying to see if Russell, the comment that I'm seeing is like, it says, the Koga is cherished by Persians as well. You can order in Persian restaurant. I have to ask, is that in relation to something else or am I missing? Oh, is there no sound? Check. It looks like I'm broadcasting sound. Oh, that's why the pad is at the end. Gotcha. Mom, good morning to you, man. How was your weekend? We are having stuffing waffles here, and it's not as good as the last one. Like, I gotta say, I'm not enjoying it as much. I'm adding too much of syrup, but it's still not making it It's missing. It's missing something. I'm eating the whole thing because it is my breakfast. I'm too cheap to eat before the show, so. Oh, Russell says koge is the Japanese name for toasted. Ah, thank you. Sorry. I don't know why I don't know that. There's a place at Narita Airport that is a rice. So Narita Airport has two wings, or at least in the terminal that I go to. There's my terminal that has the Star Alliance Airlines, and there's the other terminal. I think Terminal 1 has like Japan Airlines and Delta and all those guys. On my side of Narita, the terminal is split in two. There's the North Wing, I think it's called the South Wing. And in the middle, there's a shopping mall, pre-security. There's shopping post-security, but the pre-security has them more open. They got a lot more. I think pre-security shopping at Narita is much more interesting. But there they've got a like rice restaurant where you go there and they cook them in the I can't remember the name of the pots, but the clay pots, right? So they cook them in those. And actually, I was and you can get the koge, the to while you're eating there. It's really kind of nice. And but I remember one year I was flying to Tokyo. No, I was flying to Manila. So I flew through Tokyo, through Narita, and so I'll fly United to Narita and then switch to ANA and then fly ANA onward. And ANA has a lot of interesting videos about Japan on their in-flight entertainment system. And I remember one time I'm watching, it was only like 2018, I think it was. And I was like, what is this? They had this video about this rice producers in the Tokyo region, in the Edo region. And I was like, what? That's fascinating. They were like, yeah, you can get it at this place called Morita Rice Shop, Morita Rice Shop, which is like an hour on the train from Ginza. But I was like so fascinated. So I flew to Manila. I was watching this video. I was like, oh my God, I need to go to this place. When I flew back, I'm watching the video again. I was like, okay, I need to write this down. Because when I was in Manila, I was trying to look it up, right? I was trying to say, I figured ANA would have posted their in-flight videos, their in-house produced videos. I figured they would have put them on the internet, but they don't. So I'm flying back, take my notes. One day I hustle all the way out there, man. You got to take the train for an hour, then you got to take a bus, you got to walk. And then you get to this rice store, right? There's a rice store. I'm like, what rice store? What is this all about? And it's kind of cool because outside they have this bin of rices, like little like sacks showing all the rices they offer. And they have little signs that have the names of the producer, all the information about the producer, and pictures of the producer. They like take they take rice like we take coffee. And I was like, wow, that's just fascinating, right? And the interesting thing is that you buy the rice, you order the rice, and it's still in its shell, right? Rice is in a shell. It's got to be hulled. So they're like, we have to. How much do you want, and how much do you want it polished? Because there's the rice kernel, and then there's the rice shell. But on the kernel inside the shell is some like rice skin. And when you have brown rice, that's basically the skin being left on to the rice kernel. So the polishing, they'll dehull the rice and then they'll polish it to remove that bran as much as you want. And you can tell them, you specify how much you want. And I was like, I can specify that? And I was like, my God, I don't know enough about rice to even do any of this stuff. So I was like, all right, let me have that. And then I remember there were 3 rices that I wanted. The one that I saw in the video, and there's 2 other rices that I was kind of interested in. And they were like, how much do you want? And I was like, 5 kilos of each, right? Because I'm all excited. I'm like, I need the rice. I'm going to take it home. It could be awesome, right? I was like, 5 kilos each. Or no, 3 kilos each or something like that. And then just before I said it, I was thinking, oh, wait a minute. 3 kilos, 15 pounds. Or 5 kilos was like 30 pounds. Maybe just one would be fine. But now I got to hump this, not just onto the airplane into my bag, but I got to hump it all the way. I got to walk back to the bus stop, take the bus, take the train. And if I hump this, now I got to go straight back to the hotel, drop it off, put it in a bag, make sure it doesn't go overweight, and then fly it home. And I was like, okay, that's too zealous. Let me just get a kilo of each. just a kilo. So I had 3 kilos, 6 pounds, 7 pounds of rice. And that was perfectly fine. So be careful if you go there, you're all excited and you're like, I'm going to have give me a bag. You're like, no, we don't want a bag. Andrew says, iPad to me is like the morning paper or magazine to walk about the house and goes, gotcha. So also for surfing, which is like, okay. I guess maybe the way to look at it, for me, it's like, if I've got an iPad and I'm just going to be looking at websites, reading forums. I mean, I feel like it's so expensive for that, right? But I guess, if we break it down and think about it, okay, so you buy this, and I don't know what they cost now. But if you buy that, and then you subscribe to all these other, the subscriptions on a lot of the stuff that we would have had before, like newspaper, magazines, over, let's say 5 years, you get 5 years out of it. It's probably the same amount. So I get it. I mean, I could probably still use my iPad today. Even my main laptop is a 2013 MacBook Air. I use it every day. And all I do is really just watch YouTube videos and read forums. And I can no longer do heavy duty work with it because everything is just more processor intensive. But I hear you. All right, so I don't know if I'm a convert to this whole let's add binders to your. I'm not a convert. I'm not a convert. I want to be a convert, but I'm just not a convert. Like this, it needs more something. I don't know what it needs. I'm just going to put a little bit there. By the way, what do you think of this Argyle sweater? I put it on, and I was looking at the monitor through the camera. I was like, looks kind of big. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like that. Maybe Argyle is not for bigger guys. Which only now I'm noticing. I've had this sweater for many years now, and I'm going now, only now am I getting vain about things. Russell says, I use my iPad as an ebook reader and play some games on it. Gotcha. I mean, that's what a lot of I think do. I'm just saying that I feel though, I'm interested to hear what you think. Okay, everything else that's out there sucks, right? I remember around that same time when I first got my iPad, my niece was 2 years old or younger. And I remember my mom bought her, she was visiting, they were visiting because they lived out in California at the time. So they were visiting that year. And I had bought my mom an iPad when it came out. And my mom let my niece use it. And my niece was less than 2 years old. And she's totally the ability for this technology, it was so amazing because like this technology is so intuitive that an infant child could use this stuff. And I was like, what is going on there? I was like, what's up with that? But of course, iPads are kind of pricey. And my mom was like, oh, we'll get one for her for Christmas or whatever. And so they bought her, they're pricey. So you're like, oh man, you want to spend $400 or whatever it was on an iPad? No, not really. So they bought her an Android tablet. My niece, my little tiny niece, hated this thing. Like it just wasn't intuitive. She just didn't find it. Like she just couldn't use it, or it just wasn't easy. And I was like, wow, that's really. I mean, Apple really does make nice products, and so there's nothing like it, right? Like I've had iPhones since the very beginning. I got when Steve Jobs in 2007 announced the iPhone. I was like, in January, I was like, I'm going to buy one. And I bought one the day that it came out in June of 2007. Now, I'm not one of those guys that waited in line. Like, I'm not psycho. Like, I hate to wait in line. I'm very, very impatient. I don't have that kind of, like, patience. I just don't have that patience. So what I did is I figured, you know what, all these people are camping out. So that afternoon, after all the craziness had gone on in the morning, I cruised by the Apple store. And I was like, hey, you guys have any phones left? They're like, yeah. It's like, let me have one. It's like, and I left. I probably lost it 2 weeks later. Somebody stole it, but that's beside the point. I ended up buying another one. Like I was like, I gotta buy another one. But no, and so I've had Apple iPhones since the beginning. And I change every 4 years, more or less, right? So I went from the original to the 4. Yeah, more or less. I went to the 6S, then I went to the 10, and then I went to this like last year. This is the 15 Pro Max. So I don't jump every year. Like that's just ridiculous. But I gotta say, like I have had Android phones that I've used as a traveling phone, and it's just not as intuitive. Like I just don't find it as simple to use. So I think when it comes to the tablets, it's probably they're the best. They're just expensive. Like, I'm just like, and I'm not necessarily complaining about pricing necessarily, right? Because you guys know what kind of equipment that I like to buy, so I'm not against it. It's just that I just wonder, like, am I utilizing? Here, let's see here. iPad Air, which is the one that I like. I like the small one. Like I want it to be as compact as possible. So 11-inch. Does that say $599? Okay, so here's the thing. So storage. Okay, that is just, wait a minute. 11-inch. Oh, color. Storage. Okay, so here's the thing. So if I'm thinking about storage, what I have found with the phone and with my computers is that the 128, that's just stupid, right? That's just dumb. Like you shouldn't even offer that. That should be criminal. 256, maybe, but like at least on my laptops or my computers, it's like if I have 256 of inboard memory, like that's kind of limiting. This is ridiculous. This is just, this is better. 1 terabyte. I have yet to run out of the terabyte on this phone, but I'm also very good about like removing the data and stuff. But $1,099, so $1,100. Wi-Fi and cellular. Wow, really? $1,249. Engraving for free. Well, I better have engraving, so it's going to be onocoffee. onocoffee. That's right. For 2 million subscribers, right, there we go, 2 MM subs. Do I want the pencil? No, I don't want a pencil. Pencils are dumb. Keyboard. No, the reason I have an iPad is I don't want a keyboard. Apple trade-in, get 40 or for $695. So if I would get to anything, I would have $40, which is not even worth trading it in. Payment options, buy for $12.49 or finance, no financing. Okay, $12.49 would be the cost of To me, that's a lot just for something to watch the internet and watch videos. I'm like, oh man, I don't know. I just like it's like $12.49 iPad Air or Festo Domino, iPad Air, Festo Domino. Actually, the Domino costs more. Ted V is with us. What's going on, Ted? I'm so glad I was the one who introduced the coloring concept to you. Don't forget, it also works with mac and cheese, tater tots, and lots of things. Oh, nice. This one looks great. Oh, thank you. Okay, very good. I like the way it mimics the gray tufts of your haircut. Oh, no, well, gray. It's supposed to be green, but okay, the gray works. Gray works too. I don't know. So there it is. One way to make this stuffing waffles. I don't know if I like it. I think I like the old school way of just taking the stuffing and shoving it in the waffle iron and just cooking the hell out of it with butter. I might have to do that for myself tomorrow morning. And because this time, like the last time, I said we did it with we did it that way, but we did it with gravy. I normally don't do it with gravy. The last time was the first time I've done it with gravy, but I think maybe the gravy way is better. Gravy with the cranberry sauce. I don't know, although it does feel a little bit out of, since it's not Thanksgiving anymore, it's kind of, I feel like it's a little bit out of time. I don't know. All right. That's it for today. I got to run because today is 55 degrees outside. So it's like I got to go and party it up in the nice weather and enjoy it. Actually, I got to work on a table. I'm working on a table right now, a workbench. So good to see all of you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Great to have you. We'll be back again tomorrow with more of the Coffee Q&A. So hope you have a wonderful day. And see you next time. Thanks, Mom.